Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, it's time to batten down the hatches.
Yeah, unfortunately, the next 2 days could get ugly.
Well, the best chance of flooding for our area is from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. You know, we'll get a lot of rain today, but then it'll start backing up, and then it'll still rain on heavy tomorrow. And that's when our greatest chance of rain, or our greatest chance of flooding, according to the National Weather Service at NOAA, is from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning until 8 o'clock tomorrow night is the greatest chance of flooding. Sitting here looking at the Weather Channel, it says flooding is the number one concern with Debbie, because just hit land at 7 o'clock this morning, right there between Tampa and Tallahassee at the Big Bend there, and we're right in the middle of the path, Bob. I mean, right slap in the middle. I mean, we couldn't get more in the middle of the path. I mean, we're right there, and they're worried that it's just going to go real slow, and we'll have all that rain, so be prepared for a lot of rain. And, of course, it being a tropical storm, you're going to have windy conditions, so you need to make sure you batten down the hatches, tie down, or put anything up that can be blown around in your yard or something like that, because it's amazing how wind can throw things around in your yard. And also protect your pets. Make sure they're protected from the rain and the wind.
The Emergency Management Agency Director Donnie Ray sent us this press release. It says, and talks about the flooding. It says, in case of flooding, please do not drive or walk through standing water, or drive around barricades. Stay away from down power lines to avoid the risk of electric shock or electrocution. The tornado warning is issued. Storm cellars or basements provide the best protection. If an underground shelter is not available, go to a small windowless interior room or hallway on the lowest floor possible. So again, Governor Kemp declared the state of emergency for the state of Georgia for all 159 counties in Georgia due to this tropical storm Debbie, which has formed over the Gulf of Mexico. Again, forecast to reach hurricane strength, which it did this morning. In Florida, Debbie is forecast to move into Georgia on Monday with tropical storm force winds possible inside Georgia, which could lead to downed trees and power lines. There's also an increasing risk of significant flooding from rainfall in southeast Georgia beginning today and continuing through at least Tuesday. And in preparation of the storm, the State of Operations Center will elevate to full-scale activation level. Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency will continue to monitor the storm and is ready to assist local emergency management agencies should the need arise. And as the agency braces for the potential impacts of the tropical storm Debbie, they'd like to encourage all residents and visitors to pay attention to trusted news sources, weather alerts, and local officials. So again, that's from the Emergency Management Agency Director Donnie Ray this morning. So okay. Again, we're looking for some bad weather today and tomorrow.
It'll be moving out on Wednesday morning. We'll see some partly cloudy skies by Wednesday midday. We are under a tornado watch until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So we will have this wind. We'll have lots of rain, but there is that chance of a tornado watch until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. You know, you're talking about Donnie Ray there was talking about people don't drive through flooded roads. You know, they had some heavy rains in Savannah about a week or two ago, and there's all kinds of video on there about people driving in the road into these puddles. You can see cars on the sides with the water up to their doors, and this is people parked on the side of the roads, and you still got people driving through these puddles. And they get flooded out. Matter of fact, one got in the middle of it and started floating on a road that was so flooded there on those roads. And it just amazes me the people that will drive into those type of areas. I know that there's several areas in Wayne County that have those type of situations, but one I think we're all familiar with is on North First Street at the railroad tracks there, where it goes down the hill under the railroad tracks there and back up as you go past, Omaha Steak and Seafood, and before you get to up the hill there going toward Walmart. That floods in that area big time, and there's been people who, for some reason, they decide to drive through there and they get flooded out. Next thing you know, folks like Grant Lewis and feel like they have to go pull them out. And so if you see a big old puddle in front of you there on the road, it's, try to find another route, or get out and walk through it and see how deep it is, because it's just amazing how people do that. And you're talking about don't go around roadblocks. Well, I remember several years ago, out on Highway 203, there was if you turn on Highway 203 and go down a little ways, there's a dirt road there, and it had barricades across there, and it had a little small bridge that went across a small creek there, and it had barricades there, and it said, don't go through here, barricade it up. Well, for some reason, these people thought they were smarter than the road crews, went around the barricades, got up to this little small dirt road bridge across this creek, a little small thing there, and the mud just gave away, and the car went down to the creek. It's just, instead of driving around, which might have taken 10 extra minutes, they decided then that happened. So if you got those road barriers up there, it's for your own safety. Don't go around them. And be careful driving on the roads when you see puddles in front of you. I'm talking about big puddles now.
In case everybody missed the schedule change again, of course, the open house was scheduled for today. That's been moved to Wednesday.
That's school, right?
All Wayne County schools in Wayne County. Again, the open house was scheduled for today. That's been pushed to Wednesday from 3:30 to 6. All schools closed today. No system employees required to report to work. Again, they stated if weather permitting on Tuesday and travel is safe, district and school administrators are to report to work. But again, that could change. Thursday, August 8th, is now the first day of school. Again, it was set for Wednesday. So, again, open house is Wednesday, first day of school Thursday. So, please note those schedule changes. Again, those are based on road conditions, possible power outages. So, again, everything could change by the middle of the week. So, that's the schedule for today. County Commission meeting for tonight's been canceled. So, keep that in mind. Again, city meets tomorrow night. Haven't got any word on that meeting. And, again, concerned about the blood drive to Mark Wayne Moore Hospital. Haven't heard anything about that being canceled as of yet. So hopefully we'll get an update on those two events later today. But right now they're scheduled for tomorrow. But weather forecast doesn't look too good.
No, we got this tropical storm coming through, and it's going to be kind of bad. So lots of this. The flooding is the main concern for the National Weather Service. Still, you got the wind there. Those winds can affect stuff, blow things around in the yard, knock down trees or limbs, and knock out power, and that's always a bad thing right there. But we are under a flood watch until 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and tornado watch until late tomorrow afternoon, and flooding all the way through Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, they're calling for it'll become partly sunny on Wednesday, and things will get better on Wednesday. Some school systems have already started, and they've been, I think Chatham's getting out midday today or something like that. But Wayne County, as you mentioned, was scheduled to begin school on Wednesday. Now it's been moved to Thursday. So that's not too bad there. At least they didn't start and have to stop and come back. They're able to, get started on Thursday. And I think you said the teachers are out today. They don't have to go in, but possibly tomorrow. Is that right?
Right. If the weather and the roads.
Or now the weather does. They'll get messages from the school board and let them know. Someone says I'm getting kid about the hurricane name because my nickname is Debbie. That's the thing about it, is when you have a common name and they name the hurricanes after that, like it's either Matthew or Debbie or Hazel or, Carl or Adam or something like that. You've had a lot of hurricanes, just common names, and of course you get people get kidded about that kind of stuff. Not their fault. Not their fault. Ever been a hurricane named Bob? Bob?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the name Bob? It might have been that some time or later. Maybe we didn't get hit by it or something like that. But just trying to just make it by today and tomorrow. A lot of things canceled. Make sure you check. I have no idea what this is. It says they are trying to get out from under the pavements. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. All right, someone else says Brunswick and Orange Streets, they get flooded a lot since this bad weather is coming through. They may be flooded this time, so please don't drive through it at all. So, when you get around the Brunswick, Orange Street areas there, it can flood in there also.
The worst road I've seen is that one right by Cracker Williams Park. I mean, I said I don't know the name of roads, but I mean that place gets flooded.
You're talking about Brunswick Street, the big wide one?
It's the one
that runs from Magnolia to Cherry Street?
No,
or the one that runs parallel with Cherry Street and Orange Street? You don't.
I just know at Cracker Williams Park, that road is
that's what they were just saying. Brunswick Street, Orange Street, in that area.
I mean, and
can get flooded.
you see people trying to drive through that flooded area all the time.
Yeah, Brunswick Street gets flooded quite a bit. Yeah. Pine Bloom used to. I guess it still does. I don't know. They did a lot of work there in that area. But just be careful. Don't drive through the water.
That problem has not been resolved. So it's still
there's only so much that the drains can take. And for the average day, they work just fine. But when you get situations like this, they're just it's just not made for it. It's like the power grid sometimes. They have we haven't had that here in the state of Georgia because we got Georgia Power and they've got plenty of power. But you get places like California, Texas, Arizona. They can that power grid gets so bad sometimes during the summer they have to have brownouts, because they're not producing enough power.
Well, that's the worst part of the forecast. The storm that it's just going to stall.
It's just going to sit there, just churn up. Yes, sir. You're going to
I mean,
fill up the ponds and the rivers and the lakes.
Some storms move quickly, but this is supposed to just stall and just pour down rain for hours and hours upon hours. So. That's what's going to cause all the flooding. Hopefully the wind won't be too bad because, like I said, the power lines coming down. That's really the big issue when people lose power. So, like I tell everybody, as long as I got power, I'm good. As long as I got my TV,
got power,
so that's all good. Get rain off. Watch.
Hey, you're up on the second floor, so you don't have to worry about flooding.
As long as I got
you're
TV,
fine.
I'm good. So.
All right. What this person meant when they're trying to get out from under the pavements, they said that. I don't know if people do this. I would never do this because I wouldn't be for sure if the insurance company would pay for stupidity. But it says driving cars into flooded streets knowing it's deep. That's the reason for getting out from under the payments. They do it intentionally to total out the vehicle and get it paid off so they can get out of paying payments. Well, yeah, maybe. But the thing about it is the insurance is going to only pay you what the car is worth. What it's worth, which is going to probably be less than the payments on it or whatever. You're not going to have enough money to put toward another one. You're still going to have payments in some sort of way. You got to have a vehicle, so you're going to have to use that money if it does pay to go toward another vehicle. And as you know, vehicles depreciate in value. So the longer you have it, the more it's worth, less it's worth. So. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I would never do that.
That's some deep thinking right there.
That's some deep thinking right there.
Let me see.
I wonder if this person had a relative that did this one time. Uncle Earl did this one time.
Let me drive my vehicle through this water and get it totaled.
Get it totaled out so I can get the money.
I don't know if they think that way.
Yeah, because you're going to have to put that money toward another vehicle.
I just think most people think, my vehicle can get through this water.
Yeah,
that's what
I don't want to drive around 4 or 5 blocks or spend an extra 5 minutes to save in my vehicle.
Everybody, sometimes they name their vehicle, so they say, come on, let's go. We can go. We can make it.
Come on, Bertha, you got
it. That's right. Come on, Susie, we can get through this water. And all of a sudden you get halfway through, so don't look
especially if you're in a car.
Don't look like it's a very good idea.
Yeah, if you're in one of them jacked up trucks or something like that, you have a better chance. But those videos in Savannah, it wasn't like they didn't have a reference. They saw the cars on both sides of the road with the water up to their doors, and they drove several of them right through the middle of the road and got flooded out. One even floated away.
That's what's amazing. A car drive up and see a car already stuck in the water and say, I think I can get through.
I think I can get through here.
I mean, it's like, duh.
Yeah, I got a car that's only 3 inches from the ground. I can get through there.
I thought seeing is believing. That car is stuck in water, and you think your vehicle is going to do better. I think you just need to turn around and go the other way. But
if you're in a car, you definitely want to go around.
Yeah, but you see it all the time.
You do it. I mean, it just amazed me. They had that camera on that way. It's just one after another right through there. Just one getting flooded out after another with one floating off. And just go around. 3 or 4 or 5 blocks over is probably a little higher. Just, what is it? The stupid is, the stupid does.
It's crazy.
Oh, Lord.
Let's just hope for the best. Like I said, just hope it doesn't get too bad. But any more announcements, we'll be glad to pass them along.
Yeah, if you have any announcements out there that you'd like for the public to know about, whether you're a business, organization, church, whatever, that you want the public to know about, just text that information into us at 912-427-3711. Text it in at 912-427-3711. Or if you know any other problem areas here in Wayne County that has a lot of rain that people should look out for. Always the dirt roads out there, but this person mentioned Brunswick and Orange Streets. And definitely that area floods really bad, as you well know, even though you couldn't remember, you've been here living here since 82 and you still don't know the name of the roads. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing, Bob. I mean, geez. And
it's just the road in front of Cracker Williams. That's all I know.
That's Brunswick Street.
Whatever. It's a mess when it rains.
It is a mess. That's why this person texted in. But if you know any areas of Wayne County that get kind of bad in flooding, you can text those into us right now at 912-427-3711, or any other tips or hints that people can do to help protect themselves from the floods, from the water coming in that could possibly flood. But we're going to get lots of rain. Windy, very windy at times. So, you don't want to be out under trees when the wind's blowing like that, because that limb could snap and then boom right down on top of you. You hear about that all the time. A person got hit by a tree or a limb when they're out in their yard doing stuff when it's windy. Even when there's a thunderstorm that comes through and it's very windy outside, I won't go outside and after something like that, I got lots of limbs in my yard, and I sure in the world, and I got to go, haul them off. So I don't want to be out there when they're falling down. So be careful about that. And pets, protect those pets. Because they're going to be worried and scared, and make sure they're in a safe area to stay away from the wind and the water. And if we get any updates from Donnie Ray, we'll pass those along here on 105.5 FM. And before you go anywhere today, you want to check. I got text messages from my staff last night saying, "Are we working tomorrow?" I said, "Well, probably up to about 1." I said, "It's not really supposed to start getting rough, and if it gets rough before that, then we'll leave before then." But I don't know about other businesses and organizations out there. You always want to check with your manager or the boss or whatever the case may be to see what's going on in your particular business or organization. What's going on in the Olympics, Bob?
The golf yesterday was fun to watch. Scotty Scheffler came back and won the gold medal. Again, number one player in the world. John Rahm was on fire in the front nine, had it at 20 under and just fell apart. Double bogey, triple bogey. Rory McIlroy was in middle contention until he put the second shot in the water. So it was Scotty Scheffler winning the gold, Tommy Fleetwood of Great Britain winning the silver, and Hideki Matsuyama from Japan winning the bronze. So it was a nice medal ceremony. See, Scheffler got kind of emotional when he played the national anthem. Like I said, he just had his baby, and his wife and child were there. So he's living large. 2 major champions this year, now a gold medal. So just
good year for him.
Number one player in the world. Just fun to watch. But it was good to see the American win the gold. First time it's ever happened in the Olympics or I think they said it had way back early when they did it years ago. But since they first started it back up in the 60s, it's the first time the Americans won the gold. So
wow.
Congratulations,
man, all the great golfers we've had. And, of course, up until, I think the early 90s, it was all had to be amateur golfers. And now you got the pros in there. But,
that was fun. And it's fun watching the American win that 100-meter dash.
By 100th of a second.
That was a heck of a race.
100th of a second, Bob.
When he first came out of the gate, at the start, he was in last place and just...
He turned on the afterburner, huh?
It was fun to watch. Americans are doing well at the Olympics. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Both basketball teams are unbeaten, so they got the chance to win gold. So, U.S. men's soccer team, disappointing. They lost to Morocco in the quarterfinals, 4-0. So.
I don't know what it is. You think with the population we have that we could put together a team that could beat these countries that only have like 4 or 5 million people, 10 million people or something like that. We got 230 million, and we can't beat countries that got 10 million people.
Poor Chicago White Sox have lost 20 games in a row.
Man.
That's a tough,
they going for the record? It looks that way.
The record's 23.
You said that was by the Phillies in the 60s or something?
The American League records, Baltimore had at 21, and the Phillies have the record at 23. So we'll see if they can break the record. So I don't think they want to break the record.
No, I'm sure they don't.
It's been a tough year. Phillies are struggling lately. The Braves have made up some ground. Braves were 6 games out, so still got a shot to win that division.
Yep, still working at it. Teams get hot and cold, hot and cold. Let's hope the Braves can get hot here leading into the end of September. Did they pick up anybody in the trades?
They brought Solar back.
Yep.
You know, they brought Jackson. They brought familiar faces back to the fold. So
Okay.
let's hope it pays off. Like I said, they've been playing good baseball, but lost 2 to the Marlins over the weekend. That wasn't good.
No, they
Beat
won 2 and
7-0.
lost
Yeah.
2. That got it. And they have off today, which is good because I think they're, let's see, August. They're still at home. So hopefully they'll be able to play tomorrow night. I'm not sure. I mean, luckily that's up in northwest Georgia, which should have less effect from the rain than we do down here in southeast Georgia. So the northwest area up there should be able to get that game in tomorrow night. They'll be taking on the Brewers tomorrow night and Wednesday night and Thursday midday. And then a long road trip beginning Friday, Colorado, then San Francisco, and then L.A. Man, a long road trip there over on the West Coast beginning this Friday. What else is going on, Bob? We got a tropical storm coming through. We got cancellations. Anything else?
It's the main thing. Just waiting to see how this weather affects all the stuff that's scheduled this week. Like I said, we got a girls softball game Wednesday. Not sure if they're going to play that. Got the football game Thursday in Effingham County. Not sure about that.
They should be able to get those in Wednesday and Thursday.
You just don't know what kind of damage you're going to get.
Yeah, the damage,
That's
the
problem.
roads, the damage,
Right,
the fields,
power
that
outages,
kind of
things
stuff.
like that. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know what kind of damage these fields are going to take. So you just have to wait and see. Everything's on a wait and see pattern. Because you just don't know. You don't know how bad it's going to be.
As of right now, you can plan it, but based on conditions. Because the weather should be pretty decent by Wednesday night, late afternoon, and Thursday. But the conditions of the fields and the roads a big thing. And power. Got to have that power. Power to the people.
That's the main thing. You don't want to lose power.
No, you don't. So it can be rough. It can be rough. But remember, we're in a flood watch, especially tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. It could be overnight, but the main flood watch is from 6 to 8 tomorrow. A tornado watch in effect until about 6 o'clock tomorrow. And heavy rain is the main thing that we're going to receive, and some gusty winds at times that could move things around. Just one of them tropical storms, and we're right on the path. I mean, we're right in the middle of it, Bob. You look at that path, and we're right slap in the middle of it. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of days, and hopefully we'll get through this thing just fine and no problems at all. But you never can tell.
One announcement I'm sure the county wants to get out. Like I said, they're in September. They're going to name their 3-member election board. Again, everybody's appointing these election boards, and at the county work session, they announced this. They were going to announce it tonight at the meeting, but the meeting's been canceled. If anybody out there wants to be considered for that election board in Wayne County, they ask that you send your resume to the county office. So, again, they state that they've got recommendations from both the local Democratic Party and the local Republican Party, but they're not bound to take those recommendations. They can pick whoever they want. So they're saying if anybody out there is interested, they want to open the process up to anybody out there that thinks they want to be on this election board. So if you're interested, send your resume to the county.
What responsibilities will the election board have?
They're oversee the elections.
They'll oversee them.
Yeah, they're the ones that are over, instead of having what they have now.
Okay.
The probate judge, the election board.
This election board
It's going to be a 3-member
independent
board. Right.
body there that
Right.
overlook the elections.
Right. This is what the Georgia legislature approved in pushing that every county have an election board. So Wayne County's going to have one. They're going to appoint it in September. It's going to have a 3-member board. So if you're interested, like I said, they want to open up the process to anybody who's interested in being considered to be on that election board.
Okay.
The county commissioners will make that decision. Supposed to make the announcement in September.
All right, Bob, we're out of time.
Okay.
Out of time.
Have a
Be
good
safe
day.
today, all right? World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by First Southern Bank and by Murphy's Builder Supply.